So Sejal, you've been looking at the DNA, and I know you have a few stories. Let's start with yours.
Yes, and beautifully enough, I found both my stories on the same page. I just couldn't get my eyes off this part of the newspaper. The first one is about these IIT students who who've developed an app for the speech impaired. And these speech impaired people or people with cerebral palsy, autism, Down syndrome, or even brain injury can use this app to communicate with each other. And they can switch between English and Hindi. And this is obviously, since it's English and Hindi, it's mostly for the local audiences. But since
That's wonderful.
Since there is English, it can be used by other audiences as well. And there are about 8,200 inbuilt sentences already, so they don't even have to type much, and they get suggestions on, you know, how they want to construct their sentence, how they want to show it to each other.
That's awesome.
I think it's beautiful that people, and especially I remember IIT had also worked on an app for the vision impaired, for them to be able to take public transport for themselves. And now they've come up with this. So it's beautiful that people are working to help someone who's, probably not as privileged.
That's
to
right.
Come up to speed to be able to use the same things as we use. And I think that's a beautiful thought and a beautiful action that's been taken on it.
I totally agree. It can't get better than that. I think it's really nice how technology can finally, make its way into those parts of our lives where we really need it the most.
Actually,
and yes,
absolutely.
when it comes to reading and writing,
Absolutely.
I'm sure it's a huge leap in the lives of people who are not blessed with the eyesight. Now, talking about apps, I'm looking at the Mint, and I have an article by Shweta Taneja. Shweta Taneja helps people like me who travel a lot, and this is all about apps too. It's called Speak the Language of the Country You're Traveling to with these apps and devices.
Wow, that is such a relief.
Isn't it? Now, if only I'd read this article about 3 weeks ago, I could have totally used these apps. Now, she lists out a whole bunch of them, and you being the technology producer, you may be able to have a thing or two to say about it. So here's a list of all of these. WIGO, heading to China, Korea, or Japan, and want an app to read the signboards and menu.
Well, I've heard a lot of people talk about that, how it's so difficult when you travel to countries like China.
That's right.
There's no English translation, and it's so difficult to find places out.
And the script is pictorial script. It's not even the regular script that you and I are used to. It's just beautiful pictorial script.
Right. At least in India, we see signboards with English letters on
That's
it.
right.
Even
That's
though
right.
the pronunciations belong to Hindi, but
Yes.
they're still written in the English language. So people coming from abroad, they can read and at least find out where they want to go.
That's right. Way to go. WIGO is the way to go.
Way to go.
Right. There's another one called I Translate Voice. Again, I remember going to Japan one time, and people are lovely there. Oh my
Yes.
God. The only problem is that before I even come to the problem, I have to tell you that I did not ever know a word of Japanese. There's no way I could have spoken to any Japanese. Thanks to the dumb charades that we played in our schools and colleges, complete hand motions. Hand motions completely,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Now, that was a time when I would sit around with a few people and I would open up Google Translate on my phone and I would type something in English, translated to Japanese, and I would show it to them. Look, this is what I wrote. So for people like me, I translate voice. I don't always have to type it. I Translate Voice 3 translates conversation between two people using smartphones. So if you're speaking to someone in Spain, you hear English and the other person hears you speak Spanish. How cool is that?
Absolutely.
And then there is Sethi. Sethi is talking to your iOS devices and hear what you've said in a different language. Say Hi. It's called Say Hi. Is designed for instant communication. Imagine somebody speaking in Spanish and you actually understand in your native language. How cool is that? Never Papago. Sorry, it's called Never Papago Translate. Heading to South Korea, arm yourself with Papago, an app made in Korea that specializes in translation between English, Korean, simplified Chinese, and Japanese. I need it.
Absolutely. I think I need all of them, and so do you, Satya.
And there's also a bunch of devices which I think would be interesting to talk about. There is something called Pilot Translation Kit. Now it's earbuds. It's earbuds which look like earbuds, which feel like earbuds, but get the best translations in Europe right in your ear with this pair of earphones. The devices consist of two earphones. Of course, we've got 2 ears, so 2 earphones. One earphone listens to someone speaking next to you while the other translates it into the ear.
Well, that's translation in real time.
Thank
you, technology.
The earphones work offline and can also be used to listen to music.
Wow.
I mean, that is technology. That is really, really technology. But then, you know what? These are paid apps. Some are free. Some of them are free. Now, our Papago Translate is free. But Pilot Translation Kit, well, they're physical objects. So I can understand how it comes for a price.
Obviously.
And it is on a pre-order of $199. And it starts shipping in May. Starts shipping in May.
I don't think that's bad. $199 isn't bad for something as useful as that.
Yeah?
When you're spending so much traveling abroad, then why not make the best of it, right?
I agree. Well, coming from the technology guru in our channel, we must watch Tech It Out, which is a show on consumer technology at its best. What's new, what's coming up, what to look forward to, all of that in Tech It Out at these times.
So, Satya, we were talking about voices, and here is a story called We the Voice, which is about 3 women in the village of Sajoi in UP, in located a few kilometers away from Varanasi. So there are these 3 women who were the first 3 women to pass out of class 12th in this village, and these women are going around collecting kids, teaching them, educating them, and just because of their efforts, they've made schooling possible for 90% children in their village. They were the first to complete their education, and now they are, repaying their debt of gratitude, and they're educating children further in the village.
Now, that's again in the DNA you're looking at?
Yes, it's the same page, like I said.
Oh, yes.
I couldn't take my eyes off of here.
That's
Beautiful.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
That's lovely. So, okay, so since this is the end of our Between the Lines segment, let's now take you to the poll that we took. Now, we asked people if they considered skin tone to be a parameter in choosing their life partner, and this is what the results are. 57% say no, we do not choose our partners based on skin tone. That's encouraging.
Yes.
27% say yes.
And 60% have mixed thoughts.
Well, 60%, come on people, let's take a stand. If we have to make our voice heard. We have to make our voice heard, and this is a very, very sensitive topic, but I'm it's very flattering, and it's very encouraging to know that 57% of the people said that skin tone is not a parameter in choosing their life partner.
I agree with all this 57% of them completely, and I'm really glad that you guys took this story so seriously and followed up so well on it.
Well, we take our guests on WION Breakfast very, very seriously, and we take our viewers very seriously. And on that note, we're going to a very short break, but come right back because we have fitness and we have quick bites coming up on the other side. So come right back.